Greetings and salutations and happy Halloween to the Michigan Ultimate Survivor League. I, of course, am your commissioner, Senor Seagraves, coming to you on this very wet, very nasty, nasty. We had a nasty Halloween. Halloween, October 31st, 2019. It's week 9 coming up, week 8 in the books. I'm down here at Studio A, my mother-in-law's in town. Definitely cannot do one of these podcasts from my house at this point because it's chaos. You talk about a real horror show. There you go. Constant noise. Constant. I've taken up drinking again. Coffee, but still. Anyway, so let me just tell you this, okay? You may have seen the article that I wrote. Okay, and I'll be honest, I've been a little lax in writing articles. The last couple weeks I've written them, though. This is crazy. What we're about to witness in this league, if things continue to be the way that they are, is going to be mind-blowing. There's a storm approaching is what that article is called, and believe me, as I will tell you momentarily, the next 3 weeks are probably going to be the most exciting weeks in the history, the 8-year prestigious history of the Michigan Ultimate Survivor League. Sorry this camera sucks so bad. I'm doing it from my laptop. You know, I spent all this money on, quality podcasting equipment, and I never use it. I never use it because it's fucking not easy. You know, this is easy. Just plug in my laptop and go. It doesn't look great. But luckily, I only have 72 of you to impress. 71, counting myself. 70, if you don't count my wife, because she doesn't watch these, because she's lame. Anyway, so let's figure it out. Let's see where we're going. Here we go. I don't know how this is set up. The ratios aren't right, so we might cut off some stuff. I certainly hope not, but yeah, let's get it going here. So here we go. So first and foremost, we're going to look at the bottom 10 as we always do. Brady's backup. Brady's backup, who was formerly Irish Shamrocks, was taken over by Tony Cromwell's son and Ashley Cromwell's son. He went crazy on the first week. Second week, well, maybe he gave the team back to Chris Amos because the kid didn't submit a lineup. I don't think, right? No, he did. Never mind. Crap. I'm getting Cromwell and rolling with my homies confused. Both children of people we went to school with. Nevertheless, I don't know if he submitted a lineup or not, but he lost. That's what I know. 4-game losing streak for them. The Bombers. We called them out. We're going to take the team away from them. They won last week. This week, however, they lost yet again. We love you, Bombers. Bitch is back. Well, she's basically not back. I've run that joke through the ground so many times, but let's face the fact. Sometimes she's here, sometimes she's not. And this week, she was not. The Donkey Punchers, his team's gone. Will Green, we send you off. 2-8, you got 3 games left. We'll find someone to take your team. We love you, but I know you're moving, so you got other priorities, and honestly, your team ain't making the playoffs anyway. All right, the Black Owl. 5-game losing streak for this guy. Are you kidding me right now? Rob Bradley, man, you've been great. Just sometimes you don't got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that Astros bullpen. Ooh, too soon? Okay, moving on. Rolling with Mahomes. There we go. Mahomes, whatever you want to say. This is the team that did not submit a lineup this week, definitively. Young Garrity. Chiz Nasty, 2-6, 3-game losing streak. 582 points, so it's not too shabby compared to some of these scores. Now you see me, now you don't. Still in the bottom 10. 2-game losing streak for Ryan Frazier. There's always hope. There's always the random card, okay, people? So some people like Frazier, people like Rob Bradley, owners that care, obviously just not getting it this year. You never know. You could get drawn in. And again, I will reiterate how that works. Assuming you haven't been randomized twice or more, which most of these teams down here have been, but not all, including this one. You get 1 entry per win you have into the random card, into the random lottery. And a couple teams get picked, so you might find yourself in the playoffs just by sheer luck. So that's why you keep playing, you don't give up. Then we got Carry On Wayward Son. He's keeping on carrying on to a 4-game lose streak. That's true, but he's got 606 points, which is not shabby at all. That's moderately respectful. And then DeWyans, Gary Kings! Break up the Kings because Aaron King's having a phenomenal year. DeWyans, his dad, Gary King, he won a game. Look out. He's won one for the first time in, I don't know, since the Washington Senators won World Series, perhaps? Yes, maybe. So there we go. That's your bottom 10. We're going to scroll up to the top 20 now. Here we go. Scroll. Hey! Toon Squad, they're back in the top 20. They weren't there last week. They're 5-3 with 643. Providence Power, yours truly's teams, 5-3 with 647. So barely hanging in there. Barely above Toon Squad. Brady O'Bush, look out. One-time champ. Ashley Cromwell, 5-3 with 676. Big jump there. 20-some points. Well, almost 30 points. Stafford's Bastards, Bob Ames. He's up there at 678 with a 5-3 record. Bring back the butt fumble. Finally bringing back some wins. It's a 2-game win streak for Tom Farmer. He's at 690.44. New Orleans Rock Chucks, the aforementioned Aaron King, 5-3 with a 704 points. So he's part of the 700 club, which isn't that prestigious now since we're in week 9 coming up. But back in the day, 700 club was something to be proud of. And still, not a lot of teams are in the 700 club. Although if you look down there, Zeke's relationship corner is, if you can see that on your screen. Oh, God, let me go back. See, Zeke? Oh, yeah, you can see it. You can see it. You can definitely see it. So where were we at? Bring back the butt fumble. New Orleans Rock, super original. Lost 2 games in a row. Ouch. He's got 722, but he's 5-3 now. Finding himself, used to be number 10. Falls down to number 14. Mayfield's Chubb lost. He's got 748, but he's also 5-3. So, I mean, dudes, I'm telling you, these last couple weeks going to be nuts. Can I get a hot Chubb? We got Chubb on Chubb crimes here. He's 6-2 with a 1-game winning streak, 639 points. There's almost a 100-point difference here between these two teams. Couple Chubbs, couple 100-point difference almost, or a 100-point difference. Sticks it in ya. He lost this week, unfortunately. Falls from number 5 down to number 11. 658, 6-2. Number 10, Monstars. They win, go from number 12 to number 10, 6-2 with 658.88 points. So not a lot of separation here, that's for sure. Half a point. It's pretty wild. Password is Taco. Free fallen. Went from undefeated down to number 9. He was number 1, I believe, at one point, not too long ago. 662, and he's 6-2. So good. Still not in that 700 club that some people who are not even in the top 20 are in, but still. Hockenstein. This guy's on a 5-game win streak. Look out. He's up from number 13 up to number 8. He's got 672. Approaching that 700-point club. Kakamba's 689. He's on a 2-game win streak. He's up from number 11 to number 7. Giggle. Michael Myers, look out. He's at a 4-game win streak. He's set way past 700. He's at 735 and 6-2. He's up from number 9 to number 6 this week. Then we got Play with Mike Ditka. You know, if you remember correctly, I did say being number 1 is a curse. Tony Cromwell's team was number 1, the only team to be number 1 and actually win a game so far this year, I believe. Well, until this week. More on that in a minute. But he's the only one to ever do it. He's the only one to ever do it. 1-0, or number 1, and won a game. Now, since then, however, as you can probably guess, he's lost 2 in a row. But this dude has 780 points, so he's almost in the 800 club, which is a club that, I mean, doesn't really have any Christian television show significance, but I'm still going to make it called the 800 Club. Maybe we'll call it something else. The Elite 800, perhaps? We'll see. Next week, hopefully he gets there, because if he doesn't score 20 points, he's really got problems. Anyway, we're into the 7-1 teams now. Honolulu Blue Balls, they lost last week. They win this week. They still only have 667 points, one shy of the mark of the beast. And, you know, but you know what? I mean, I think where he's at, he's sitting okay. I mean, we'll talk about that here in a minute as we do the standings by standings breakdown. Number 3 is GBC, Granny's Baloney Curtains, on a 4-game win streak. He's up from number 4 to number 3. He's in that 700 club that is so precious to people. My precious. Won't be that precious at the end of the year, though, I'm telling you, because people are going to get over 700 this week, a lot of people. So that's why we need to start a new club and, like, totally not let these people in it. So here we go. Number 2, we got Bleeding Blue Bombers staying put at number 2 for the second straight week. He's 8-0, but only 663. Oh, my God. That's not a lot of points to be 8-0, but that's why this league is significant. You never know what's going to happen week to week. This guy's lucky as hell. 663, 8-0. Come on now. You know how many people have more than 663 points? Oh, I don't know. Damn near everyone that's on the screen right now. with the exception of this guy right here. Can I get a hot chub? Literally everybody else in the top 20 has more points than this guy, but he finds himself 8-0. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. So, for the second straight week, I'm not beating on the table because we all know it. We all know that it's Tenacious D, 8-0, 8-game win streak, obviously, 735 points in the 700 club, probably in the 800 or the Elite 800. I don't know. I think that's what we're gonna roll with. Yeah, let's do that. The Elite 800 Enterprise. I don't know. God, why do I care? So that's where we're at. He's number one again. The one of two teams this week or this year to be number one and win. Now, will he follow in Tony Cromwell's footsteps and win a game at the number one spot and then lose 2 straight? His conference had better hope so, believe me. So, and speaking of conferences, let's go take a look, shall we? We're going to hit the standings button. We're going to double check to make sure this is looking good, and it's not, of course. So, let's do this, I guess. Nope. Shoot. Hold on. Can we minimize this window? Does that look better? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So here we go. Conference by conference breakdown. Bleeding Blue Bombers. Barring just complete disaster, is going to win this conference, people. Okay, I look like I'm wearing a sombrero in a funny way. I might want to watch out. A sea bear might attack me. But I have some cubed cheese sitting over here, too. So we'll see. SpongeBob? No? Anyone get that reference? So Bleeding Blue Bombers, 8-0. They have the tiebreak over Password is Taco. Okay, so like in that article, I wrote down a bunch of things that are important. This one here is like the one division that's like, meh. It's going to take a colossal collapse for Bleeding Blue Bombers not to win this division, but it's technically possible. And I believe out of the technicalities here, New Orleans Rock Chucks, believe it or not, has the best chance at winning this. And well, I mean, obviously Password and Taco has the best chance because they have one game up. But aside from them, New Orleans Rock Chucks has the best chance of winning because New Orleans has to play Bleeding Blue Bombers as well as one of two of these other teams in the last 3 games. So New Orleans Rock Chucks wins out. Password is Taco loses a game, or especially 2. New Orleans Rock Chucks, you could be looking at a crazy come-from-behind season conference clinching franchise. So probably not going to happen, but it could happen for sure. So, you know, there's hope. So Aaron King, you keep doing you. We get down to the Honolulu Blue Balls here, and or the Kirk Lazarus Conference, really. Here's where it gets crazy, okay? I'm going to just pop this up, and you'll be able to see this here. I'm going to go to my muscle notes. I got to find what sheet it's on, but that's not it. 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 What the hell? Here it is. This is my sheet right here. So, we get down to the Kirk Lazarus Conference, okay? Honolulu Blue Balls play with Mike Ditka. They're 1-2 in this conference. However, Providence Power and Hernandez Hitmen, or Hitman, singular, that's weird. What, your team's one person? They are still alive, okay? Now, technically, Cheechki and Trump of the Vine, but come on. I'm not going to go into those crazy scenarios, but Cheechki and Hernandez, or Trump of the Volume, don't give up. I think mathematically you may still have a chance, but I don't know. Yeah, I think Honolulu Blue Balls beat one of you, so one of you probably don't. But let's talk about Play with Mike Ditka, Honolulu Blue Balls, Providence Power, and Hernandez Hitman. Those guys are definitely in it with 3 games left. Realistically, though, we're looking at Blue Balls and Ditka. They, funny enough, play each other in Week 11, which is the final week of the season, for those of you who don't know, for the regular season. So, if they continue to win throughout these next 2 games, that game will be for the conference championship, no matter what else, pretty much. So, there are scenarios for sure where Providence, myself, or Hernandez Hitman can win this conference still. It's going to be tough, though. I mean, because it would take a perfect combination because Ditka and Blue Balls play each other, so one of them is going to win that game, obviously. So, but I think it's technically possible. If Blue Balls, if they all lose the other games and then just one of them wins one, that would put potentially a bunch of, I don't know, there's a lot of math there. I don't want to do it in my head right now, but I've spelled it out basically. Those 4 teams still alive, but really, a lot weighs on that Week 11 game. We'll talk more about that if they continue to win, the significance of that game. Because who knows? I mean, Play with Mike Ditka could lose this week, and Providence Power / Hernandez Hitman could win this week, and then they'd all be 6-3. So then we're having a different discussion, especially if Honolulu Blue Balls wins this week. That will be something. They will have a huge up. So if they win and Play with Mike Ditka loses, they're going to have a huge gain there. Then we get down here. Giggle and Can I Get a Hot Shot, both 6-2, and they play each other in Week 10. That's next week, people. So 6-2. Tallywhackers and Jay Footman can still very alive in this. They'll play each other here in Week 10. So one of those teams is going to lose. So no one's going. Well, one of them is not going 3-0. I can tell you that much. But one of them, they're not going 0-3 either. So these two teams still alive. And then you get down here where, technically speaking, I mean officially, without doing tiebreakers and stuff, I mean you're talking all these people, technically speaking, still have a chance. Well, actually, that's not true because they won't lose out. So these people, I mean, Lennon Hurricanes, Alabama Muff Riders, OPP, and Zeke's Relationship Corner, they still are in the hunt. These two teams will not go 0-3, so that eliminates Concussion Protocol, Bare Naked Tigers, and the Apache Chiefs, unfortunately. But these teams right here, all these teams have a chance, albeit slim sometimes good, chance of winning this conference. So do not give up, especially Lennon Hurricanes. Don't get randomized Teddy Bridgewater again. That was horrible. But he had one carry for -2 yards, I believe, so he cost him like -0.10 points he finished with. Hey, but you know what? The randomizer don't care. Randomizer don't care. Just like Tim McGraw's Highway Don't Care song. Randomizer don't care. If you're not injured and you don't have a bye. Now, luckily, it used to be randomizer didn't care if you're injured or not either. But with the advent of some updates on the site software, it'll tell you if he's injured or not. So realistically, since that information is there, randomizer's been evolved slightly to not include injured players. But what it doesn't know is if the player got benched because Drew Brees is back, which is why Teddy Bridgewater, he was definitely number 11 through number 32. He got randomized. We don't care. Nobody cares. Randomizer don't care if he's not playing, if he's not starting. So, yeah, that's the risk you get with all these injuries. Someone might come back and you lose your spot. Anyway, so that's crazy. Got a lot of teams there. This Spicoli Conference, not nearly as crazy. You got an 8-0 Tenacious D. Congratulations. You got Sticks It In Ya. They got a 2-game edge on Sticks It In Ya, okay? And then Super Original Cloacal Kiss. Now, here's the thing. Oh, what do you know? Tenacious D and Sticks It In Ya play next week. So, Sticks It In Ya straight up. You got to win this week to have a chance. You lose this week, you're going to be 6-3. And if Tenacious D wins, you're going to be 9-0, which means that they're going to win this conference, basically. So, Tenacious D, you have to win this week. If you win this week, I believe, yeah, Tenacious D, I'm going to say it. You win this week, you win. Well, that's not true. If you win this week, you eliminate Super Original Cloacal Kiss from the discussion. If you win this week and Sticks It In Ya loses this week, you win the conference. If Tenacious D wins this week and Sticks It In Ya wins this week, it's going to be a 2-man race down the road, okay? Now, if Tenacious D loses this week and Sticks It In Ya wins this week, that's going to be crazy. Because that means they'll be 8-1 and 7-2. A lot more will weigh on that game next week because the winner of that game will also have the tiebreaker. But if Tenacious D loses this week, technically speaking, these teams are still alive, okay? Unfortunately, from here on down, this is my year down, they are eliminated from winning the conference. Now, again, I'm going to hammer this home. Just because you've been eliminated from winning the conference does not mean you're eliminated from the playoffs by any stretch, okay? Because most of you people who've been in this league know this, but those of you who are new, I will bring it home many more times over the next couple weeks. But conference winners get a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Then there's a bunch of spots that go to best record that's not a conference winner. And then there's spots that go to most points that are not conference winners or in on record. So you could be 2-9 and have 880 points and still make the playoffs. Just because you scored a lot of points, you get rewarded for that. And then, of course, on top of that, there are a couple spots that get thrown into a wild card lottery, and they get drawn out. You get one ticket for every win you have, so don't give up. I need some maracas, people. Look at this. So that's where we're at. So do not give up. This is my year and below. You still got a chance of making the playoffs for sure. Probably not on record, but, you know. Then we get down to the old Drebin Conference. Frank Drebin, greatest detective ever known to man. Not really. Granny's Bologna Curtains and Monstars. As luck would have it, look at this. Week 11, they're playing each other. Week 11, GBC versus Monstars. So, I mean, that's the final week. We don't know. A lot can happen between now and then. But as of right now, without doing all kinds of crazy tiebreakers, technically speaking, is that your final answer and above? Still, I believe, mathematically alive, just by eyeballing it. Riverside Raging Rancors below. We're not going to win the conference, but you can still make the playoffs, as I just mentioned. Bring back the butt fumble and my Balzac Ertz definitely alive, 5-3, because these guys, again, one of these guys is going to lose that Week 11 game, so no one's going undefeated there. So there's a chance. We get down finally to the Brody Bruce Conference, and this has a lot of, I mean, just on the surface, you can see there's a lot of teams that are 3-5, 4-4, 5-3, and 6-2. But because Kakambas and Hockenstein, I believe they play each other Week 10. So next week, Kakambas and Hockenstein will be playing each other. So one of these teams is not going to go 0-3, which means that the worst they're going to end up is 8-3. Right? No. Shit. Right? 7-4. Yeah, that's the worst is going to happen. So technically, FL Farging Ice Holes, Whispering Eyes, they may still be alive, but we're going to say probably not. It's going to be tough. But Mayfield's Chubb, better bring your A game. Stafford's Bastards, all very much in this conversation. Kakambas and Hockenstein, you play each other in the final week, so I'm not going to say that, because we don't know. You both might lose every game until then. It might not be nearly as important. But as of right now, looking at the forecast, you have every conference has the number 1 team taking on the number 2 team still yet to play as of today. Except for the Lebowski Conference, which has the number 1 team taking on like their 5th place team technically. But the way the schedule works, that could be a very important game. So that's where you have it. We talked about it. Number 1 and number 2, I'm not going to say they control. I mean, everyone controls their own destiny, basically. But they, number 1 and number 2 will play each other on every conference. So there's still critical games coming up. Now, funny enough, none of those games are happening this week. As we look at the schedule for this week, none of these crazy games I just mentioned are happening. So let me just see. No. I don't like how this thing... Like, if you minimize your window, it's like you can't really see anything. Which is kind of lame, I think. Apparently the internet down here is garbage. Alright. I have to maximize the window to see the right tabs. That's super annoying, but whatever. Alright, so here we go. Looking at this week, we're not looking at players anymore. Nobody cares. We do have some important games, though. Just because it's not number 1 and number 2 does not mean there's not important games, people. So, most notably, we got New Orleans Rock Chucks right here taking on Brady O'Bush. And a big game is it's number 15 versus number 18. Looking down here, Trump Up the Volume and Providence Power. We already mentioned that's a big game right there. Even though Trump Up the Volume is not ranked, they're still alive. Honolulu Blue Balls versus Hernandez Hitman. Again, Hernandez Hitman's 5-3. That's a big game. Dublin Drunks 3-5 versus 52. They're out. But it's still, I mean, it's Bonnie Monahan versus Jeff Arbogast. It's significant to me. Nobody else probably, but to me it's important. And then, there's not a lot of games this week that are all that important. There's one ranked game. Whispering Eyes, Stafford's Bastards. Yeah, I mean, this week's the calm before the storm, people. There's going to be some craziness happen from week 10 through, or week 9. Wait, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, week 10 and 11, I should say. Because I don't think any of these games happen this week. So, that's weird. But, yeah. So there we go. Once again, just going to say, do not give up on this league. You may be out of winning the conference championship, but that does not mean you're out of making the playoffs by any stretch of the imagination. So submit a lineup. And the other thing is, I mean, not only should you submit lineups, you submit super lineups at this point, because the bottom line is even if you don't get in on record, you can get in on points. So if you've been saving people, don't save them. You don't want to go into the playoff, get eliminated from the playoffs and find out that you didn't play Aaron Rodgers, or you didn't play, Deshaun Watson, or you didn't play, I don't know, anyone that's good. Juju Smith. I played him this week and he helped me win. So, hey. Yeah. So, and the weird thing is, here's the thing that's going to be interesting, is that probably we're looking at, Patrick Mahomes coming back during the MUSL playoffs. So, if you haven't started him yet, you're going to be sitting all right. So, if you have started Mahomes and you make the playoffs, you're going to be in for some chop, probably. But anyway, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed this podcast. I came down here specifically for you people. Put on this sombrero just because I like it. But, yeah, get your lineups in. I don't know if there's a London game. I hate London games. But big Thursday night game tonight, people, as the 49ers are undefeated. Haven't played anybody. Taking on the Cardinals. Times the lines. Have a good day.